More importantly, he's going to open up your thinking around how to approach the future. So I hope you find him witty, challenging, funny, and most importantly wise. Can you give him a warm welcome?
Hi there, how are you? Good, it's good to see you all. I'm feeling excited. I'm looking forward to talking to you about a journey that you've been on and a journey you're going to continue to take. And what I like to do is just connect in with you initially. And what I like to do is say congratulations to each and every one of you, because you are here now. The journey you've taken to get to this point is phenomenal. You've worked hard, and the hard work is nearly over. You've only got a little way to go, and then you get a chance to create something rather special. So before I go on any further, I want you to turn to the person next to you and just say, congratulations, there's not long to go. So in about 2 months' time, you get to create a very different experience. And that experience is going to be about celebration, it's going to be about relaxation, and it's going to be about honouring yourself and honouring one another, honouring your teachers, honouring your school, honouring your parents, honouring all those people in your life that have held space for you to take this journey. So you're coming to that stage of honouring in your journey. And I want to talk a little bit about what happens after that. How many of you are thinking about doing a gap year? Okay, a few of you. Terrific. How many people here think that having a career beyond school is important? Almost all of you. Some of you have got other plans. Maybe you're going to another plan. Great. Okay, how many people here already know what their career is going to be? So about a third of you got a fair idea. So what I want to do today is I want to talk about three things. I want to talk about human potential in relation to you and your development. The second thing I want to talk about is the job market, what it's like out there. And the third thing I want to talk about is your ideal job and what that could look like and how you come to that place. Before I do that, I'd like to go back a little bit in time. So I'll come back to those stories in a minute. What I want to do today is talk about three things. I want to talk about your potential, I want to talk about the job market as far as I experience, I want to talk about how you might shape a career moving forward. And if we explore that slide, if you have a look at the green line, this is something called brain plasticity. Who's heard of it before? Brain plasticity. Oh, I'm with a smart group, most of you. And our brain's ability to adapt and learn new things is really good when we're small, and it's really bad when we're old. Anybody got a grandparent who can't learn new things? Yeah? So that's the green line. And then the orange line is the amount of effort we need to make to learn something new. So learning from 2 to 18 on that graph is not too bad. It's not that hard to do. You've been working hard, you're getting good results. Once you get to about 28, your brain is becoming less and less plastic, less and less able to change. You become more set in the way you see the world and the world you create. That little zone there, the B zone, that's where you've got a sweet spot. That's where you can leverage what you're doing. So your 20s are a really important time for setting up your career, your relationship, and your life. Those are your priorities. Now you might come in a different order. You might have relationship, life, and career. I see some of the girls smiling. It's like, yep, I've got that one on the relationship, then I'll think about the career. Doesn't matter. If you get life, relationship, and career set up in your 20s, you're off to a good start. Yeah? And the other thing interesting about the brain is that when we learn new things, the outer layer of our brain, which is called the cerebral cortex, stays nice and fat and healthy, literally. It's got more fat in it. And as long as we keep learning new things through life, that part of our brain stays healthy. But if we stop learning as adults, that part of our brain shrinks. When the outer layer shrinks, the inner hemispheres start to shrink as well. So Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, these sorts of conditions are triggered in people who stop learning. So you've got some great learning skills from the school, it's important to continue to learn things in your life. So 3 years ago, I learnt Mandarin. Has anybody studied Mandarin? It's a hard language to learn at 50, I can tell you, because my brain plasticity is a lot lower than yours. Right? So I keep learning new things, so I keep that part of my brain healthy. So making learning part of your priority in life is really important. Anybody seen a TED Talk before? Who's seen this one? Anybody? This is a great talk. It's called 30 is not the new 20. So it came out about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. A lady called Meg Jay, she's a psychologist in New York City, and she only works with 20-somethings. And she talks about what happens to people in their 20s, what to do and what not to do. And what she's saying is that in the last 20 years in the United States, that a lot of people come out of school and say, you know, I'm going to worry about finding a partner, I'm going to worry about finding a career, I'm going to leave at 10, 15 years, I'm just going to party, I'm just going to travel the world, I'm going to have some fun, I'm not going to worry about too much. And what she says is the same thing I'm saying. She said, we need to maximise the 20s. Yep. And what I can tell you is that unconscious bias is everywhere, and it's in the job market as well. Has anybody seen the Shark Tank program where people pitch? Yeah. Do you know the old guy Andrew Banks there? He set up a company called Morgan & Banks when I finished. They set up it just after I finished university. And I sat down with him when he was a young man in a recruitment company. And he said to me that this is the job market. But most of the jobs out there you don't see. It's friends of friends, members of the family. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And he said that's very much part of the job market. And you don't see those jobs because they're not advertised. So the job market, if you're looking at the job market, your networks, your connections are important in terms of securing the jobs in the iceberg below the waterline. And then there's the visible job market. Where do you think 90% of the applications are? Anybody? In the top, yeah. So competition at the top is really tough. Competition in the bottom is really easy. Okay, it's easy to get a job if you know the right people. So that's a bias that exists in the job market. What Andrew Banks told me was, it's really important. What employers are looking for are knowledge, skills, and abilities to work with people. And those are the things that employers are looking for. So we shaped our resumes around that. We shaped our career around getting these skills. Now, they're still relevant today, but there's been a shift. There's two things that have happened. Probably 15 years ago, there was legislation called Equal Opportunity, which says if you are in a certain sector, in a certain business, you're required to go out to the market so that the process is fair and objective. So we have equal opportunity employment legislation. Nevertheless, even though we're required to advertise a job, I found many, many times in the job marketplace, even though an organisation is advertising for someone, they already know who's going to get the job. I've been on both ends of that. And it's phenomenal. We want to hire and work with people we know and like. And if we have to go out to the market, we'll pay lip service to that. So you need to be aware of that equal opportunity market doesn't necessarily make it equal. Right? But again, it's part of it's to do with your connections. You can demonstrate excellence and make it through a list. A visible job market is still there, but you can play out any one of those spaces. And today, what employers are looking for is they're looking for young people, they're looking for people who come into the workforce who understand their values and embody their values, live by their values, have a Facebook page that embodies their values, has a profile that demonstrates their values. They're looking for people that have value sets that are co-committed with the culture they're trying to produce. So this requires a young person to do a little bit more soul searching and say, what are my values? What do I stand for? How am I living my life? And that is an attractive thing for an employer. And it's more important now to know your values than it is to have a bunch of skills and abilities. That's what employers are looking for. The third thing I want to talk about is your ideal job mix. Who's seen that graph before? Anybody? Okay. So, sometimes my friends have said to me, oh, do something you love and the money will follow. Well, there's a lot of things I love doing, but I'm not going to make money out of it unless I'm absolutely the best in the world, and sometimes that's not possible. Right? So, if we go around that, we want to try and fit in the subset of all those in the middle where the star is. So, if you've got a job which you love and you're good at it, the world needs it, but no one's paying you, then you're being exploited. If you love being a surgeon and you like getting paid for it and the world wants it, but you're no good at it, don't be a surgeon because you're going to cut people up and get sued. If you are like Mr. Cronk, my director of sport, it's a job that he got paid for. He was good being a director of sport. We certainly needed a good director of sport. But my director of sport when I was at school, he didn't love it. So he was burnt out in that job. And the last combination there is something you're good at, something you love, something you can get paid for, but the world doesn't need. And that's another Kardashian. Okay? So you can find, you need to play around with this. Well, these are the 4 things we need to work with. How can I make some money? How can I do something I love? What's something I can be good at? Yeah? And what's something the world needs? So have a think about that and work out. And your 20s is a great time to explore those elements of your journey. Automation is coming hard and fast. This is a graph I got from a company called Boston Consulting Group. This is data from last year, and this relates to the developed world. And on the bottom of that graph, it shows the breakup of work in the workplace. So if we look across there, 18% of work done is predictable physical work. On the other end of the scale, 7% of human time is spent managing other people. So if you finish up going for a career or occupation or a role which takes you to the left, then you're going to safeguard yourself a little bit against being automated. However, if your job lines up more in the blue end, data collection, data processing, predictable tasks, AI, cognition, going to take more and more of that work away from us. So I just put that in as a little thing. Now some of you I know are going to be working in the IT industry, assisting with the robotics, assisting with the software development that will allow us to migrate a lot of our tasks onto technology. Does that make sense? Gig economy. Who's heard of the gig economy? How many people have got gigs going at the moment where they're making money doing stuff? Anybody running little enterprises on the web? Not too many of you. Okay. So I wrote my first book in 2010. I flew to the United States. I worked with them for 3 weeks. I parted with $20,000. Amazon had a publishing house called CreateSpace, and they wanted $5,000 to get my book published on there so I could then sell my book on Amazon. I wrote a book this year, and it's going to be coming out in print next week, and it's cost me $2,000. And the reason why it cost me $2,000 this year, rather than 9 years ago, is because of the gig economy. Who's heard of Fiverr and Upwork? Any of these? These are places where freelancers and contractors, if you've got a skill, whether it's proofreading or laying things out or graphic design, you can go in there and you can bid for work. So I have a guy called Marco in Poland who I paid $1,200 to produce 18 illustrations for my book. I have an editor in DC, I paid her $300. She's ex-Penguin. She just edited my book using some software and her common sense. And a freelancer who I'm working with, I'm just finishing off at the moment, who I paid $200 in California. That's laying out the book in the right way for the publisher. And the publishing house, which is called Ingram Spark, is charging me $300, not $5,000. And they will list my book on all the major reseller engines in the world, including Amazon, including Apple Books, including everything. So the value proposition has changed. And that's because we're now living in a gig economy. The gig economy is growing every single day. So the idea of permanent, full-time employment, which is what I was looking at when I came out of school, is less and less available, depending on which area you're going to. This is becoming more and more the norm in terms of we pay for what we want, what we need. Now, in terms of selling any organic copies of my book on my own website, if people contact me, I have the option, I haven't done it yet, of paying a virtual assistant in the Philippines $5 or $6 an hour to manage all of the sales and packaging and shipping out of my books, which in terms of my opportunity cost of my time, I don't want to be spending my day packing up books and mailing them to people. I need to be doing other things. I need to be speaking, I need to be coaching, and doing those sorts of things. So you can see that the gig economy is alive and well today, and that's part of the world you're going to be moving into. I was talking with the woodwork teacher today, Katie, and he's at the end of his life in terms of work. He's getting close to retiring. And I said to him, what did you do in your 20s? He said, I was a builder. I said, were you working with wood? He said, I was making things. So here he is, all these years later, making things and helping people how to make things. So the little message I'm trying to share with you is that what you do in your 20s is what you're going to finish up doing for the rest of your life. What was I doing at 28? Anybody remember?
Teaching year 12.
Teaching year 12. What am I doing right now? All right? life repeats. Now, at my 30-year reunion, I couldn't find my mate Matt, and I didn't know what happened to him. But a couple of years ago, I was visiting Geelong. I went down, I did a hot yoga class down in Rose Street somewhere. I was getting changed after class, and in the change room was Matt. I said, "Oh my God, it's you, Matt." He said, "Is that you, John?" I said, "Yes. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you for like 30 years. What are you doing with yourself?" "I don't know." I said, "What do you mean you don't know?" I said, "Well, I'm still trying to work out what I want to do." I said, "Man, you're 52, what's going on?" I said, "Have you got a girlfriend or something?" He said, "Oh yeah, I'm married." I said, "Oh good." I said, "What does your wife do?" "Oh, she works full time." I said, "So she brings in all the money?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You got any kids?" He said, "Yeah, I've got 2 kids." I said, "Boys, girls?" He said, "Yeah, I've got 2 boys." I said, "Great." I said, "What are they going to do?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "I'll tell you what though, John." I said, "What is it, Mark?" "I hope they don't turn out like me." We become like people we spend time with. Choose your friends carefully moving forward. Go to work in your 20s. Set your life up for your life, your primary relationship, and your work, and you won't look back. Thank you very much. Good luck.